go.
We are the arm of the prophets, Oliver, and you are the blade. Be silent and swift, and we shall quell this heresy without incident.
Clearly, I'm a professional streamer, what with this bullshit going on. And then the volume a little bit.
Has masked our approach, and it should have their local battle net in disarray.
Just getting feedback on
We
the mic.
have the element of surprise, for now.
And their tanks are completely different between the two versions.
Engage active camouflage. Reveal yourselves only after the Arbiter has joined battle with the enemy.
You may wish to do the same, officer. But take heed. Your armor system is not as new as ours. Your camouflage will not last forever.
Give me a carbine. So the carbine is a new weapon for Halo 2. It is the Covenant equivalent of the battle rifle. It is effectively a precision weapon. Fires a single round at a time rather than the triple burst that you get from the battle rifle. And I briefly demoed the sword, I think, in the previous session. The sword is basically, obviously the sword existed in Halo 1, but you couldn't retrieve it as the player character. It is a close range melee weapon. Once you get a character in range of it, your reticle goes red, and then if you attack with it, you lunge towards them, and it's pretty much a guaranteed kill for anything apart from an overshielded character. As with most Covenant weapons, it has a charge rather than ammo. There is I don't know that I'll show it off, but there's a glitch in this game known as sword flying, which is effectively if you I think there's multiple ways of doing it, but the way I know to do it like easiest is if you are in the seat of a vehicle, like the passenger seat of a Warthog, and you attempt to lunge at something. Obviously, while you're in that seat, it doesn't work, and then as soon as you leave the vehicle, it then just gives you a bunch of momentum towards wherever the thing you targeted has gotten to by this point. So that was a thing that was in the original release of Halo 2. That got fixed, I believe, in the first patch that came out on the Xbox version. So obviously it's fixed for the Master Chief Collection version in multiplayer, but they left it in campaign for some reason. I did see someone recently say on YouTube, "Oh, you can't do this anymore." The truth is, you can. You just have to, have a disc copy of Halo 2 for the Xbox and not install the patch. Which, given that Xbox Live is down for the original Xbox, the only way you would be able to install the patch is if you use the multiplayer map pack disc. infantry. It screwed me up. Am I still up here? I don't really want to spend my sword on drones. The swords are as lethal to you as they were in Halo 1. There was some dialogue that we missed because all of our allies died early, but your allies do comment on the fact that they have sentinels assisting them in this facility, which is strange because the sentinels are obviously Forerunner constructs that in Halo 1 worked for the Monitor, Guild Spark, so there's like, why are they here? I'm sure that won't be relevant.
Ready! Another kill for the officer!
I'll probably... Oh, my sword... That's weird. My sword's showing 0 charge. There we go. It's still fired up. It's meant to deactivate when it's meant to charge. So this is another new weapon that was introduced for this game. It's the Sentinel Beam. It is meant to be one of the lasers that the Sentinels shoot. It's not great. It does continuous damage, and it's relatively effective against shields, but it's not... There are better weapons to choose from. If we had to have like a demonstration like that, it's really a weapon of last resort. Damn, the AI is getting pretty good at fucking sticky grenades.
We in trouble now!
They shall not see me coming. Show me your blood.
These ones that are blue and glowy are explosive. Again, this is meant to be like a gas mining facility, so that's what's being transported on these conveyors.
Holy light! Ah! Can you not?
Oh, that was a fucking awful grenade throw.
I, coward! Maintain discipline! Praise on your knees! Your journey will end before it starts.
Deal with him, my brothers. I will defend the Oracle.
Its truth must stop these fighters. The heretics are mobilizing their air forces on it. Get after their leader, but watch your back. I'm sending one of our bandits to support them.
Oh, keep pressing the fucking anniversary button rather than the melee button. They do very different things. Right, so this is a friendly phantom. The idea is here you're meant to follow it around while you locate where the hell that guy just went. And you deal with waves of attacking enemies and ground enforcements. I will let you know right now that the place where we're ultimately going to is that area over there where I'm currently directing at. And you can just go straight there and finish the mission, but we'll do it legit, just to show it off. Enjoy the book rock. The book rock is in both versions of the game. It's slightly different book rock in each version of the game. So one thing they added with the Banshees is it's now got a boost. And it's also got what they call Banshee tricks. So if you're moving left and you press the jump button, you do that. If you're moving right and you press the jump button, you do that. If you're tilting back and you press the jump button, you do that. Yeah, there's nothing associated with forward. Effectively, it's meant to be a means of better avoiding damage. It's most useful when you've got like, especially in the multiplayer, when you're locked on by a tracking missile, because timing it well means that the missile will overshoot. Still weird now that they changed the book rock. So we've got grunts wielding fuel rod cannons. This is another weapon that's now accessible to players in Halo 2 that previously wasn't in Halo 1. I could do with swapping up my Banshee. Oh, that's some spares. Yeah, they effectively just have you circle the facility, what would this be? Clockwise. Whereas if you go through it counterclockwise, you just get to where you need to be immediately. So I'll reveal my prejudices here. I generally think that the Arbiter levels in the game are some of the weakest levels in the game, which could be construed as me saying I don't like the Arbiter. I think the Arbiter's fine as a character, and I think you need to have this perspective that gives you more insight into the Covenant, because in Halo 1, the Covenant were just aliens that wanted dead. Like, there was no real nuance to that relationship at all. It's more that the Arbiter's levels are consistently some of the worst designed and most tedious in the game. And in this, we had a bunch of like dark corridor exploration followed by this flight section, which is not bad by any stretch, but not doing anything especially, you know, exciting. It's just we're circling around a map that pretty featureless, really. It's just this one big facility. The music's even given up at this point.
Track the heretic leader to this part of the station. Clear that landing zone and get inside.
And that's that entire level. And suddenly we have allies again.
What is it? That stench. I've smelled it before.
Mighty one, now we safe.
This tanky thing here. I'm sure that's something to worry about.
Things. What is that? What happened here?
Me and bad feeling about this. About morning food nipple.
Close your jaws, or I shall bind them shut.
See, heretic!
Hold your fire! Hold your fire! I wondered who the prophets would send to silence me. An arbiter. Unflattered.
He's using a holodrome. He must be close. Come out so we may kill you.
Get in line.
Amusingly, that model is in fact an NPC, in terms of how the game deals with programming. Now notice that I'm going around destroying these bodies.
Stand firm. The flood.
One of the things that you can see them doing here is the Flood can explicitly reanimate fallen bodies now, which they couldn't in Halo 1. Fallen bodies could just get up again, they could effectively just feign death, but... Also, the Flood infection forms no longer have the same behaviour of kind of like popcorning the way they did. And also, they are not quite as easy to just melee attack to death, which was something new that I did routinely in Halo 1. As far as I'm aware, the Flood still cannot actually take over a non-Flood entity. Like, the game doesn't have permission to turn a non-Flood NPC into a Flood NPC. It does get added in Halo 3. Now we get to go through one of the most boring sections of the levels. Tell you what, Halo 2 has an awful lot of sections where it's just stand and wait for something. So this platform acts as like a big elevator. I know in the speedrun there is like a way to jump down and kind of skate along the geometry of the outer walls in a way that means you don't trigger the fall death. Because the death by falling is triggered based on how long you're falling without coming into contact with any floors. So you can kind of cheese it if you know where to position yourself. So the Flood in this game do now have an equivalent of a headshot. Because I'm not doing a particularly convincing job of showing it off so far. But if you shoot where the infection form is kind of embedded in their chest and pop the infection form, that instantly drops them. But again, it leaves the corpse intact, so if another infection form comes along, they can revive it. There we go. Like, that was an example, and that. So in both those cases, I just popped the infection form in their chest and it just fell them instantly. So I also got credit for the headshotting challenge that's currently active. Outside of using power weapon, like the sword, melee attacks are generally not effective against the flood though, as far as I can recall. I don't know why I keep doing them.
Spoiler. We're coming in.
If I remember right, ultimately there were no new flood variants added in Halo 2. There's still only the human and elite style combat forms, which are these are obviously the elite style combat forms. This often happens on this platform. The physics goes a bit wild and starts making all crazy sound effects. Yeah, so there's the two varieties of combat forms which are effectively the same in terms of how they behave. And then there's the infection forms and the carrier forms, which just have a bunch of infection forms in them when they burst. There is a cut enemy from the game, which is the... I don't think it's ever got a formal name, but it was revealed in the art book, I believe, and then people have been able to extract it from game files and at least spawn it, even though it doesn't have any AI associated with it. Kind of like a Titan flood form, so it's about, I think, twice the player height and has like long tentacled arms. Nobody is entirely certain what that was going to be, I don't think. I don't know whether that was meant to be like a infected hunter or what. Although again, in canon, the hunters are meant to be immune because they're not like, you know, they're not sufficiently large biomass as it's referred to in terms of being like susceptible to the flood. They're just a hive of worms that just happen to work in tandem to embody a suit of armor and behave kind of as a bipedal creature. Given that this is meant to be a gas mining facility, by the way, I don't know why there's quite so many flood in here, or for what reason they were released. I mean, arguably it was released by the heretics to create cover for him to get away. This is a pretty high-risk way of creating cover for your escape, given, you know, the existential threat to the entire galaxy the flood poses. Okay, so here we start to see carrier forms. The thing is, we've got the heretic elites also fighting off the flood, which implies that they did not especially intend for this outbreak to get like this, I suppose. Either that or the heretic leader's just a dickhead and put them all through the ringer. So this room kind of sucks. Ultimately we want to get through this door over here, but we can't do that until some enemies from the other side open it. So as with so many sections in this game, we just have to hang around and fight off waves of enemies until the script triggers and the game decides, yeah, actually you can carry on now. At least on the lower difficulties, it's often easier just to let those infection forms just pop into you anyway and just take the hit. They usually do little enough damage if you're playing on like easy or normal that you don't really actually have to worry about it too much. Problem is, if they touch you while your armor's down, even on the lower difficulties, they do just mulch through your health. Practically it's death if you get touched with your armor down. You can see they're not taking over these dead elites because they just don't have the means in the engine to convert them from that character model and AI routine to a Flood one. This is the other problem. You're meant to fight off waves of enemies. Occasionally you can see on my motion tracker there's an enemy up there. And occasionally the AI just doesn't actually bother to come down and meet you. You're actually coming down? There are ways to climb back up. Especially if you're willing to grenade jump. Yeah, so it's trying to create like a sense of atmosphere and dread. Oh no, we're trapped here with all these floods, but really it's just tedious. You know, it's never really worked for me. It's part of the problem is the fact that there's nothing you can do proactively to speed it up, at least not that's apparent and intentional, let's say. I'm pretty sure in the speedrun there's some way they manipulate the script to open that door earlier than what I'm doing, but... Oh, that's where the motion tracker thing was going off for, that figure. Just hanging about in the ceiling, don't know how I got up there. Open the door yet? Right, let's go on with the level. There we go. I might as well get a fresh sword. Don't really need it, but given that we're not coming back here, no reason not to. What time is it? 10 to? Hopefully I get this done in 10 minutes.
Leader, the storm is about to hit. We cannot maintain our position.
Bring the phantoms close to the mine. We are not leaving until the leader of these heretics is dead.
Enemy phantom is over.
Oh, what the hell? And we get to go do the whole run up again. Bloody hell.
The storm is about to hit.
Here I am saying I want to get this done in 10 minutes.
Bring the phantoms close to the mine. We are not leaving until the leader of the heretics is dead.
You can get a mouse with force feedback, is that a thing that exists? That might be useful to actually know when I'm taking fucking damage.
The flood has spread throughout the nation. We don't have enough troops to manage such a large infestation. Find the leader of these heretics. Kill him now.
That's easy to just pick it up on my thing and go that way. I believe this guy's invincible if you even try and shoot him at this point. He gets behind this door.
This will save me from the storm, but you will be consumed.
Arbiter, where is he? Thinking the flood bait boxed himself in tight. We'll never break through this.
We shall force him out.
How?
Cable. I'm going to cut it.
Get everyone back to the ships.
Warriors, return to the landing zone. The Arbiter will continue upward, cut this station loose, and scare the heretic from his hole.
The Ark was not. Do not forget your sacrifice.
Okay, so next thing is we're climbing up this tower. Where did that spare sword go? I've never really. Ugh. Sorry, that was a badly spoken thing. I've never really put much thought into it, but I'm noticing that there's a lot less flood that we're encountering here than we do in, say, the library in Halo 1. And I don't know whether that's just because this is the first time we're seeing the flood, and therefore they're trying to reduce the amount of enemy load we're dealing with, or whether that's a. As in, it's the first time we're seeing the flood in this game. Whether that's the reason, or whether it's, for whatever reason, the AI and graphics budget is not as capable of dealing with a lot of flood on screen at once. So yeah, this section has you... so we're seeing that the facility we're in is suspended by a cable from a broader structure. So what you're doing here is you're coming upstairs and cutting these supports down. There's swords everywhere to enable you to do it. Quite interesting they do actually tilt the level geometry to reflect what you're doing at each stage, which is a nice touch.
One final cable, officer.
If you time the jump right, when it cuts away, there we go, you get a nice little hover for a second. So they do actually reflect the fact that the whole thing's forming, and you have like lower gravity for the remainder of the level now. So this whole facility is now falling into the gas giant.
The heretic leader is on the move. Do not let him escape. We'll stay with you as long as we can.
cheeky and get this level done because there's not much further to go. There's this room, which is weird. There are some flood with swords in here, right? So it seems to vaguely recall dying in here quite a few times. But to notice this is the first level we've ever seen in Halo that does not feature any human weapons whatsoever. Is this all again? Yeah. So we're back into grab a Banshee and fly off. Unlike the previous Banshee flying section, this one's really quite straightforward. It's just fly over here.
You'll never escape this maelstrom in a Banshee. Wait, the hangar. There was a Sarah fighter inside. Officer, you know what to do.
What the fuck just hit me? What the hell? Okay, that's not something I've seen happen before. Yeah, so there's not really any need to fight any of those guys, and much like the section at the end of Halo 1, they intentionally destroy your Banshee just to make sure you can't backtrack. Which just ends up making both the Arbiter and Master Chief looking like terrible pilots, actually. Okay, and now we're backtracking through this first section of the level. The entire area is meant to be in chaos. Just going back through the areas you already came through previously. Oh, I was stealthing and then I accidentally touched the infection form, popped and broke the stealth. So.
Careful.
Let's say none of these combat encounters are necessary to actually engage in. You can just run straight through the whole lot. Actually, you can do that for most of it going down. It's just the elevator ride and that room immediately following the elevator ride that I think are the only things that are actually scripted to not let you advance until you've cleared them. Now we get to see another new addition for Halo 2, boss fights.
Heretic. Arbiter, I would rather die by your hand than let the prophets lead me to slaughter. Who has taught you these lies? The Oracle.
Hello, I am 343 Guilty Spark. I am the monitor of Installation 04.
Ask the Oracle about Halo. How they would sacrifice us all for nothing.
More questions? Splendid. I would be happy to assist you.
The elites are blind, Arbiter. But I will make them see.
Yeah, so this I don't understand the heretic's rationale here. Where he's saying, oh yeah, talk to the Oracle, he'll explain to you why I'm right. By the way, I'm going to kill you anyway. It's not really going to get me converts by actively killing them. So the annoying thing is, the two holograms that he throws out can still deal damage. Which means this fight is actually really fucking challenging when you're playing it on high difficulties. The holograms are really easy to pick out though, when you're actually firing on them. Because their shield does not have any animation to it when it's taking damage. The fight ends as soon as you kill the real one. Really, the only reason I'm taking out the holograms is just to reduce the amount of fire coming my way. but the fact that these airborne makes it very difficult to get
Arbiter,
reliable cover.
show yourself.
There we go. I mean, ultimately, he is just another jetpack elite, but it's the fact that you get 3 enemies to deal with at once that's makes it quite challenging, especially on the high difficulties.
That is horrible.
So it is. Come, you're leading this system.
And that's the end of that. We'll go through this next cutscene, and I've got to call it a stream there because I've got to get back to work. By the way, if you didn't realise at the end of the last set of levels that we did on the previous stream, despite the entire promotional campaign for Halo 2 being about the battle for Earth, we are not going back to Earth again for the remainder of the game. Everything from here on out takes place on the Halo. So, yeah. I was very disappointed when I realised that.
Report!
Both engine cores have spun to zero. We're drifting.
Archer pods are cold. I'll need to rekey the system.
Do it and find out where we are.
Sorry for the quick jump, Sergeant. You in one piece?
I'm good. Chief?
We're fine.
Ma'am, there's an object coming into view now.
Cortana, what exactly am I looking at?
That is another Halo.
Say what?
So this is what my father found. I thought Halo was some sort of super weapon.
It is. If activated, this ring will cause destruction on a galactic scale.
I don't know if I've pointed this out before on stream,
Whatever.
I don't care if I
but
have
they're
to clear it or
insistent
not.
throughout Halo 2 to keep referring to Halo as a weapon over and over and over again, without actually
Given
specifying
what we know
what
about
it
this threat, it's even more
does.
important that we capture the prophet
It's
of regret.
they
Find
want
out why he
a
came to
second
Earth,
dip
why he came here.
at the
Hard drop. Secure landing zone.
at the twist from Halo 1.
Aye, aye, ma'am.
That's why they just never specified what the rings actually do.
You're on your own.
Once you realise that's what they're doing, it's
Over the
really
target
obvious.
In 5.
Hang on to your helmet.
I forget which game it was. There's one game where some of the geometry you see on a Halo is really obviously just an aerial shot of Africa. That shot, there it is. That's just obviously Africa. I think this is the first time that we actually see the ODSTs as well. The ODSTs first get revealed in the novelizations. It stands for Orbital Dropshot Troopers. Effectively, they're just let loose to gravity fall into areas of engagement. As you might imagine, it is a insertion method that has a high casualty rate.
Could we possibly make any more noise? I guess so.
As you might imagine, having a loadout of a SMG and a rocket launcher is not the most convenient. But that's a problem for another day, because I've got to get back to work. So, thanks for joining me. I'll probably stream again later on. I don't know whether that'll be more Halo 2 or whether that'll be picking up something new, but I'll decide that when I get there. Oh, why is it not liking me quitting out? Oh, let's stop the stream.